Hey everyone, I'm Anna and this is the R5 Leather Workshop, where today we are going to be putting the final touches on this bag that we have been working on the last couple of weeks or so. So the main things we're going to be doing today is we're going to be adding the crossbody straps to this bag, as well as edge painting. Now, the one thing I'll say is I edge painted the handles and some other parts ahead of time, and I will include all that footage there, but really that needs to be done first before attaching these. So there are parts of the bag that do need to be edge painted prior to the end. So with that, let me talk a little bit about edge paint. Edge paint was something that was originally a little bit meh on. It does give a nice finished look, but I was really confused by how it works. So at first people said, oh, just keep putting layers of paint on the edges after you've polished them. And I just found that the paint would soak through the leather and I could never get that smooth look until I was on Buckle Guy's website and I found this stuff, and Buckle Guy actually recommends you always use this, and I don't know why I'd never seen it in any of the videos I'd watched or any content or anything about edge painting. And what this is a base coat, and it's thick. So if you've ever used like a self-leveler for any reason, self-levelers, they naturally kind of smooth things out. And that's exactly what this basically does. So although you still need to polish and line up all of your edges so that they are flat, you still have to do that. You can't have like wonky edges and hope that this will smooth it out. It won't do that, but it does give you a nice clean surface. It does soak in just enough, but also leaves this really smooth base. So as you can see here, I have actually on this one already put a base coat on this here. And I will show the footage of how I did this. I did tape already the footage of how I put this on. So you do a layer of this edge paint and you need to let it dry completely. That's also one of the big downsides of edge painting is, in my opinion, your wait time. And you can't use your, like a heat gun like I do with other stuff, because the heat will kind of, it'll make it uneven. So you do have to be patient and wait. And I try to go, oh, I have these other things to do. I'll edge paint and then go do those other things, so I have plenty of time to let stuff dry. Or many times I'll edge paint like this first layer, this base coat layer. I'll do this, you know, right before I'm gonna go downstairs for the evening. I'm not gonna do any more work. So it has all night to dry, and then I'll come up in the morning and finish painting it, and then it's done while I'm working on other stuff and getting my day started up here. So that's kind of my couple things to say about edge paint. But we are going to edge paint the whole thing. Now, before we go on to talking about edge painting this, I will say I'll point out the parts I had to edge paint in advance. So as you can see here, I have edge painted these handles where they joined. So these handles have been edge painted here. And then I also edge painted where these seams came together along here so that they had that nice look. And then I also did these where the paint on these here, these raw edges that exist on this section of the zipper as well. So all that had to be edge painted in advance. So you probably I could have done the part here in the zipper. I actually didn't. The reason I didn't edge paint this was partly it's my bag, so I don't really care that that's not edge painted. But the other reason is I've yet to really figure out a solid way to hold this up so that while the paint's drying, this here doesn't like dribble everywhere. So I don't tend to edge paint those sections of zipper because of that problem. I would rather it look raw, more raw, than have drippy paint, basically. It looks more finished this way. So we're gonna go ahead and edge paint that. So this has already been dry, and I did this so I could show you with the pink color on that. So we're gonna do that first. So let me go ahead and I'll show you what I do here. So I'm using pink. I'd highly recommend, if you're interested in edge painting, buy the base coat, 100%. I usually only need one, maybe 2 layers of this. It's rare I need 2, actually. It's pretty dense, just give it a good shake. So you'll paint the edge paint, which I did first, and I have that footage here. And then I'm going to do this in a pink. I bought these little ones from Buckle Guy. They have like a sampler set with a ton of different colors. There's a lot of paint in here. I have never had to buy more paint. I might be getting a little low on colors I use a lot, like brown, but I've had this over a year and I haven't had to purchase even the colors I use a lot. So that, and then there's a couple ways to apply it. I bought this little tool. Mine is pretty disgusting. You can tell I've done a lot of edge painting with it. This is not the top of the line. I bought this one at Tandy Leather, but, and it's supposed to spin. Mine doesn't spin anymore. I just keep using it anyway. The other thing I've seen people do is they use their, I've seen people use their awl. The other thing I've seen people do is use their awl and dip this into the paint and put it on there. I don't personally like the idea of paint on my awl. So I always just use this little tool here. Again, these are really cheap. This is not a top of the line one. I probably, when I upgrade, I'll get a better one. Just make sure you wipe them clean every time when you're done. Although even with that, you can see I got kind of crud on mine. So we're going to show you how, I'm going to show you how I kind of go through and do this, and then we'll let that dry, and then we'll move on to the next part, which is going to be attaching the crossbody strap pieces for the removable crossbody strap. So let me show you this real quick. So once we do this edge painting, and let this dry, like I said, you want to have done the first layer before you do all this other work. So I've got the base coat here, and now I'm going to go through and do this. So this is true of the base coat and of the color, is you have to be methodical. Also, don't ever get too much on your, whatever your application method. And I've learned I start just about anywhere. This won't dry enough that you're going to have problems in this time it takes you to go around. And you just work your way slowly. This, when it rolled, you could roll it, but I actually have found I prefer this kind of dabbing method. And I just kind of work through and make sure I don't get too much on here, because it'll dribble off and then get on your leather and then you can't peel it off. So it's just kind of this slow, kind of methodical process that you have to go through. So I'm going to continue to do this, and then I'm going to have to let it dry. Dry time's probably about an hour. Again, this is why I like to do this when I have other things to work on, because I can't really do anything while it's drying. It has to just sit and has to dry. You can't use a heat gun because it'll be obvious. It'll have like ripples and stuff in it. So I just work through there. So I'm going to finish through this, let it dry, and then I'll show you the final installation of the crossbody straps. So now that we're letting that stuff, we're going to let that go through its thing. So what we need to do here with these crossbody pieces, what I am trying to accomplish with the crossbody pieces is I want them to be draped over like this. So I have my square here, and so it's going to go like that. So I try to line this up. Now, I'm also not going to edge paint these, although you could, and if you are, you're going to want to do it one side at a time. You'll edge paint like that, let that dry, and then you'll have to edge paint the other side. So these are 3/4 inch pieces, so, and you have to attach these after all the edge paint's dry, so you know. So I'm going to line those up. That did not come out even. Look at that. So then the next thing I want to do with these is I need to think about where I want my rivets to go. And these are pretty small little pieces. So my rivets are going to be one super close to each other. So I'm probably going to do one there and one about there, because I need wiggle room there. So what I have to do is mark these all the way through, and then punch them. And you want a fair amount of space, again, because you're wrapping this over both sides of the leather. So these are going to be really close to each other. And then what I can do here is I have one done. What I'll do is I will just copy and paste essentially. So then now I don't have to do measurements the same way. You just got to keep them lined up. So from here what I'll do is I'm going to take this and I will roughly figure out where I want these. Like that. Like so I'll roughly figure out where I want these. And then on this side only, not the back side, because I know these are going to match up, I will mark where I want my punches to go. Like that. And I know you can't really see it there, but you'll mark them on both sides. So, and then we'll use my rotary punch here to punch out these holes. Like that. So there's my punches. My doggies. Oh, my doggies are here. Oh, my dogs are in my way. So this edge paint has finished drying. The one thing I'll say, you might be able to see that right here, there's a little bit of dark layers. And so you probably want to go through and do a second coat. Fortunately, I'm going to probably go back and do a second coat, but I don't need to do one here. So I'm going to go ahead and install my crossbody pieces here. So for reference, this took about an hour to dry. It's a pretty warm day here, so it dried in about an hour. On a colder day, it may take longer. So just be aware of that. We're talking about dry time. We're just going to grab our rivets here, and I've been going with all gold hardware, or brass hardware, I should say. So here I'm going to put just the top one in and leave the hook there. I'm going to go through here, and then I'm going to connect the one piece here. Now, one thing I'll say about when you're doing this, make sure you have the right length of rivet. So I tend to almost exclusively use 9mm, so they're just shy of a centimeter, and they work for 90% of projects, I would argue. Really thin leather, you're going to want shorter ones, and there's probably a few cases where you might want bigger, but so there's this one side. This really did not get, we're just going to do some manual adjustment here. It's my bag. I'm going to take the loss there. So there's the one side is ready to go. I just got to go over to my press, and then we'll go do this one. I don't know if you can hear my dogs breathing in the background. They're breathing pretty heavily. They came to join me. So there you go. So I gotta go over and press these still, but there is our designer inspired bag. I actually have made a crossbody strap for this one already, and pull that out, it's in that side. So I made this crossbody strap for this. If you want to know how to make the crossbody strap, and also see my head. If you want to know about the crossbody strap, I have a video for that. That is why I didn't show myself making it. And I added some flair here with a little ring, but you don't need to do that. So there's my crossbody strap. So I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series on creating a designer inspired bag. And I hope that this will inspire you to either make this bag or to design your own by looking at designer stuff. And, you know, creating something that looks like that, but also with your own flair and your own personal style to it. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.